All right, so we're out here. We finally made it out to Chowchilla for play day Friday, right before Nationals weekend starts. So me, Sammy, gonna be driving the 707 car out here. We loaded up his truck, came on out. We're gonna get him some practice laps in. I'll probably jump in too, and we'll see how the track holds up, so we'll be ready to go for this weekend. So stay tuned. Alright, what's up guys? So we made it out to Chowchilla, night number 1 of Nationals weekend. It's a 2-day race. We just got the trailer all set up out here and got the 4 clone cards set up. I think there's 26 entries in the clone class today. Last race I think there was 30 or 31, and then tomorrow night's the big money race, $750 to win clone, $2,000 to win 500s. There's going to be a lot more cards, but tonight we're going to go out. I think we've got about an hour and a half until qualifying, so we're going to finish getting everything set up. We lucked out and got this shade up above us because it's pouring rain out here today, and it's supposed to not let up. It's about 49 degrees and it's only going to get colder. So we'll see how everything holds up. The track's going to be, as long as it's not muddy and it's not super dry, it's going to be good, but we'll hope for the best and hopefully qualify in the top 10. We'll see how we go. So we just finished up qualifying out there. The track, as you guys can maybe see, is really rough in the corners and it's pretty dry. Dryness isn't really the problem, but whenever you try to hit a corner, unless you're going really high, you're hitting ruts and it's kind of bouncing you around. Still, we're able to qualify 13th. So top guy was 10.5. Going down, we ran an 11.102, but still, as you guys can see, we're not really far out of the top 10 guys. A bunch of people here ran 11 flat. And as it goes down to, everyone's right around the same, with just a few thousandths off. So I was gonna switch out some teeth, but I think I'm just gonna leave it and see how it does in the heat and maybe make an adjustment from there. But the car ran fast, qualifying 13th out of 26 isn't too bad. We'll just have to see once we get in the pack of people and see where our heat is actually at. So we'll see how we do in the next race. So we just got the starting lineups for the heats. You win some and sometimes you lose them before you even get out there. We, I guess because of the way that it was in qualifying 14th, we ended up, that's our lineup. And Christian there, he wins almost every race. He was track champion last year. And Jeremy and Donald will both always run top 5 in qualifying. So I still think that we had a good time. We're gonna see how it is out there, but unless something unforeseen happens, we're gonna have to try to make our way from the B. So I was hoping for a good lineup on the heat. Sometimes you get stuck with what you get, so we'll see how it goes. right, so kind of deflating. I was running third right there in the transfer spot, and with 2 laps left, I don't know if you guys saw it, but there's a big rut coming out of turn 4, and it's really hard to miss because it's right in the middle. So you either slide up into it or you really got to go around to get through. And on the lap before, if you can hear it, my chain kind of popped off a little bit, but then it caught back on and I was able to keep going. And I knew it was going to happen again on the next lap. Hit it again and the chain came all the way off. So kind of a bummer. We'll be back to the B main, probably starting in the back because they recorded us finishing last on that. But the guy right behind me, the same exact thing happened. As I pulled off, he pulled off too, and his chain was off. So it's one of those things. What can you do? We'll be back out there to see if we can transfer to the A from the B, but it sucks finishing last or just braking in general. So as you guys can see in the video, chain came off again, and they gave me a few laps to try to put it back on, but it was off the driver and I just couldn't get it back on. And they told me in a little radio, time's up, so had to pull off. But still, I feel like we made good progress and the cart ran really good when it was on the track. It's just everyone was kind of piling down on the bottom line there, trying to avoid all the ruts, and it is what it is. We still got one more day. We're gonna hit Walmart right now and then be on to day number 2. So as you guys can see, it rained a lot overnight. It's pretty well flooded out here in the pits. But regardless, Chowchilla Nationals night number 2. I guess race number 2, because we're going to be racing around noon today. Still got the cart covered up. We're going to make some adjustments. One of my buddies brought a bigger chain guard. I'm going to throw that on there, hopefully keep the chain on today. But it's we're up under this barn, and it makes it really hard to want to walk out there and be in that. But we got a couple hours before we run. We're going to get the cart all ready to go for the day and see if we can make a difference or build off the good things that we did yesterday. We'll see. Okay, so the track, they went through and scraped the whole thing, and turns 3 and 4, they look to be pretty well banked. I don't know if you guys can see it real well that way, but it goes up the track pretty well. Turn 1 and 2, on the other hand, is pretty flat. There's a slight banking to it, but it banks a little bit and then flattens off right at the top, so gonna have to kind of try to ride that one low. But turn 3 and 4 is really the ones that you want to have super banked when you're coming around the final turn of the race, and you can gain a little bit of extra time and finish strong. So see how the track holds up. It looks good right now, but there's also, let me take you guys over here and see this. There's a couple leaky spots throughout the track where it's building up mud because it's leaking down there. So we'll see if those don't turn into potholes later. And I think qualifying starts in like an hour, so we'll see how we do. So this is the aftermath of the chain coming off yesterday. It got all bent up, and that chain guard ain't gonna hold. But shout out to Wesley Spencer, my buddy over there. He hooked it up with a little bit taller and a little bit wider chain guard, so maybe that'll keep our chain on a little bit better today. We won't have to drop as many teeth to try to keep it on, so thank you. No mistake that you guys haven't seen any racing yet from day number 2. So as you saw in the video last night around staging, it was already getting kind of flooded, and then this morning whenever we woke up, you saw that it was already pretty flooded out there because it's been raining all night. Well, it never really let up, and they ended up canceling the race. But shout out to MED Barn Burner staff. They did everything they could do to try to keep the race going. They switched staging to where it was kind of under the barn. They tried to keep the track worked in, but there was like 20-mile-an-hour winds, and since the barn's so high up, it was just blowing all the rain in to where like the whole back straightaway of the track started getting flooded, and it just was kind of out of control in that point. So there's not much you can do whenever Mother Nature wants to, I guess, rain on your parade or rain on your race. But still, I mean, it's we got one day of racing in. It just hurts because I was so ready to redeem second day for all the issues we had on the first day. And then, like I said earlier, shout out to my buddy Wesley Spencer for bringing me that bigger chain guard. We had that on there. We had the engine push as far forward as we could go, and we were ready to go. And we were just sitting there about 30-45 minutes before we were supposed to go up. They post up that the race had been canceled, and they're going to postpone it to later in the year, or later in the month, I guess. So as of right now, the next race is December 29th. I don't know if they're going to do it before or after that, but we loaded up. We live about 2 hours away, headed home, and about halfway, it looks like it hasn't even been raining out here. I mean, it's a little overcast, but that's kind of annoying. Literally, just as we got out of Chowchilla, the rain stopped, and it hasn't started raining since. So, regardless, the cart's already ready to go. It's set up. Obviously, we were ready to go in about 30 minutes. The cart was already set, so it'll be set and ready for next time. We won't really have to do anything to it. So, maybe make some adjustments and throw a new chain on there and get going. So, but regardless, sorry for the lack of racing on this one, but it's still, we were out there and we gave it our best shot. So until the next race, thanks for checking out Mid-Pack Mania.